Why we customize each event is because each group is different. The dynamics of the team is 100% different from one company to the other. And it could even be within the department or in the company within different departments. So essentially what we look at is understanding who we're working with and what their outcomes are. So by customizing the specific events for them, we look into a series of factors of what is it that they want to gain from the experience, why are they doing it, who it is that we're working with. So if we know that it's a bunch of engineers, we're going to ask them, why are you coming together, the purpose of the meeting, and then also know that when we recommend something, it's not going to be a training and development. Maybe it's something that we're building together versus a sales team that we're working with, and that dynamics of that group, we're going to understand that they want to be competitive. When we customize events, we take that into consideration and then look at their dynamics and say, hey, this will be a good fit for them. This is what we're going to do to change it up and make sure that it really fits their team and they basically have some fun doing it. That's ultimately what we're selling is fun. So how we make a event feel personalized is started with the needs assessment, understanding the group and understanding who it is we're going to be working with, as well as understanding how much time, because a lot of our events typically are in that 2 to 3 hour range. But if we get a full day or multiple days, we can really customize the event, understand what their success looks like. That's one of the most important questions we ask at the end of an event is, or at the beginning in the needs assessment is, what does success look like? At the end of the event, how are we going to know that you are happy, you're excited, you want to bring us back, and that your team got the most out of it? So that's one of the most important questions. And then when we understand what success looks like, we then customize the program to make sure that it's fitting their outcomes and their timeline, the dynamics of the team, and basically making sure that the experience they're going to have is a fun and enjoyable time. We actually customize a lot of parts of it. To give you a great example, we have a standard trivia night, and it has a series of general knowledge, places around the world, food, animals, whatever it might be. But we create trivia based on customization of that client. So to give you an example, we're in a sales meeting, first quarter kickoff. They have all these new techniques and things they discussed throughout their experience and their time over the first couple days. And then we'll wrap it up with a customized trivia that's specific to their group as well as their company. So it would allow them to create kind of almost like a test, but a fun test in itself that basically, hey, these are the things we all talked about. How much did you retain? And we are now able to put that to a fun game that the Kahoot platform is what we use for that. So it's speed. How quickly can you get the answer in? And you're working with a team doing that. But basically, we're customizing it for that specific content of the meeting. That's one example. Another example is actually one of the events we did with a pharmaceutical company. We have this event called Communication Breakdown. It's basically recreating 2 scenes, if you will. So we've done a bunch of different ways. Like, for example, I'll give you one of campsite. We set up the tent, the campfire, the camping chairs, fishing pole, and basically the team had to recreate that same experience by using the same exact resources, but they couldn't see the other campsites. They had to communicate that to them. So based on the group, like for example, if we worked with REI or Patagonia, that's the kind of thing we would do. We would customize it versus a group that we just worked with was their theme was about building bridges. So we took that same concept and used Legos and created sections of a bridge. And basically one team had to communicate to the other how to build their section of the bridge. But ultimately, this is working with hundreds of people at a time. So at the end, they all were able to link these bridges and their sections together. So it created a very large bridge at the end that was literally like 20 feet long, built out of Legos. And so it was just a great experience. So because they liked the concept of working together and communicating, but their theme was bridging the gap. And we created that event for them specifically. So it was a fun one. So that's how we do it. We look at the dynamics. Again, like I keep saying dynamics, but it's super important to understand who you're going to be working with so that when you're creating that event and you can customize it for them specifically. A lot of our events, we give back, and we are trying to create events where giving back at the same time of driving home content or just having fun or whatever it is, we are making sure that, one, the charity is getting something that's impacting them, but it also impacts the group. So it's kind of like I've talked about it before, but it's like that triple win. It's the win. Win for the client, win for the charity, and win because we have another fun event we get to talk about. But essentially, by creating these customized events so that it impacts the greater good. So again, everything we're doing, we're trying to give back to some charity or some local organization, some shape, some way, some form, however that is. But by impacting the charity and the group, by creating this experience together, win-win. And the people love these things. And I feel like that's really something that does separate us from other companies, in that we always have some portion of our event that's given back, whether it's financially, just at the end of the event. We're doing a cooking competition. All right, I'm going to donate a certain percentage of our event back to the local food pantry. Or if we're doing something specific like building bikes, we assemble those bikes and then we donate them to kids with cancer. So again, the impact comes from what the event is that we're delivering and how we give back. We can customize anything. For example, I talked about this before again, but beehives, that's a new charity build, where essentially you're building beehives and that impacts the bee population. So we're always trying to think about how we can create new events and have some fun with groups at the same time. So this is something that I firmly believe in and just made a part of our cultures.